Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna show you guys how I created this beautiful 90s vibe makeup look. So if you're interested in watching, please stick and stay. Changes to come, 'cause the light's just around the corner. Life must go on. Alright, so let's get right into it. So I'm starting off by priming my face with this poreless primer from e.l.f. It is very smooth and creamy, glides onto the skin easily, and it leaves my skin feeling really soft. I'm also using this to prime my eyelids as well. Then I will be setting my eyelids using the loose powder from Fit Me, and this is just going to set the primer in place and also prepare my lid as a canvas so I can put on whatever powder or pencil or whatever it is that I'm going to be using. Now from this Wet n Wild palette, I think this is Comfort Zone, I'm going to use the transition shades from this palette. So I started off with the lighter transition color, and this actually gives me a skin type of color shade like nude. It was a bit lighter, so I now went in with the darker shade. And this is just to add a little bit of dimension. You know, it sharpens up the color that was not coming through from the previous shade, and I'm doing that right onto the eyelids up to the crease. Now for my lids, like right above the lash line and a little bit onto my lids, I'm using this black eyeliner pencil. This is from unoo, and I'm just making a line right above the lash line. It doesn't have to be neat, and I'm actually dragging it a little bit out to the end because I'm going to be making a wing right there. So dragging it out to the end is actually going to help create that wing. And like I said, it doesn't have to be neat because I'm going to be smoking that out. Now an important thing to note is when you're using pencil versus powder to create your eye look, the blending actually takes a little bit more time because it is harder to blend. It's more of a waxy texture versus a powder texture, so blending is the key. It does take some time, but the results are perfect if you have enough patience. And I'm almost there, so I'm just going to continue blending, and you guys, you can clearly see how smoked out the eyes look once the blending is completed. I'm using this pencil from NYX to create a wing liner. It's nothing dramatic, just a normal wing liner. Now if you're going to create a wing, you have to be careful with the end part of the wing, especially. You don't want to make it too messy because it might be something that you're not able to correct, and you're gonna have to wipe off everything and start from scratch. So you have to be careful, especially if you're using a liquid liner like this. So I just connected the outer corner to the center, and now for the inner corner I'm creating a little pointy eye, you know, give it that foxy eye look. So that's the look I was actually going for. And if you notice, I only use the black eyeliner onto the top part of my lid. For the bottom section, I will be using this pencil from NYX. It's a beautiful shimmery blue. Well, it's not actually blue. Well, it is blue, but this shade is called Azure. It's spelled A-Z-U-R-E, and using that right onto my waterline. Now below that, I'm going to be using those two shades, that's the pink and the purple. And I'm using the applicator that comes in this palette. So the pink is going to be from the inner corner of my eyes, and I'm bringing that about halfway. And then I'm going to use the purple to connect the other half out to the outer part. It didn't really make a major difference in terms of the shades, but I still think it gives it like a little bit of halo effect, so to speak. So it has like a darker shade and then a brighter shade. There's no major difference with the colors seeing it on camera, but in person you could definitely tell the dimensions between the two colors. Now for my lashes, I'm going to be using a pair of these Poise lashes from Kiss, and I'm using the duo glue to apply my lashes. So I place it onto the center of my lids first, then I connect the outer corner, and then I connect the inner corner. Now applying lashes is it actually takes a bit of practice for you to get a good hang of it, but the more you practice, the better you get at applying lashes. Now I'm just squeezing my lash with the fake lash so that they can, you know, like lock together, so that it actually looks realistic. You're not going to see the separation between the two lashes. I'm going in back with this liquid liner, and what I'm doing right now is to line my upper lid, and I'm lining it from underneath the eyelash. What this does, it intensifies the black liner that I'm using, and it also covers any space that may have been leaving out. You know, if there's any space between my lash and the fake lash, this is actually going to create an illusion so that there's no space showing. So I will be using these products. So this is the Infallible line. So this is from Loreal Paris, and this foundation is in the shade Soft Sable, and I'm blending that out using a wet blending sponge. This is from Real Techniques. And to set my makeup, to set the foundation in place, I will be using a matte finish. It's a pressed powder from L'Oreal Paris as well. It's the Infallible Pro Matte, and it is in the shade Classic Tan. So that's what I'm going to be using to set the makeup in place. Now, if you notice, I started applying from the center of my face, blending outwards, and also the neck area definitely needs to be touched up with the makeup as well. You don't want your face to be off and has a different shade from your neck. Now, whatever blemishes or spots that are peeking through, I just covered that using this concealer, also from L'Oreal Paris. It's in the shade Honey, and that covers the spots. And if you notice what I'm doing with the sponge, I don't drag and I don't rub, I just kind of dab it on, just stippling it into my skin, and that ensures that your makeup does not move around. Now for underneath the eye areas, and those are the areas that I'm applying this lighter shade concealer. This is from LA Girl, and I think this is creamy beige. I will be putting all the items that I use in the description box down below, so if I did miss something and you're not sure what it is that I use, you can just check the description box for those items down below. Alright, so I'm blending that underneath my eyes. This is going to make the eyes pop. Underneath the eye area will be brightened, and it's going to just, you know, look lighter on under those areas. So by using concealers and contours, those actually add dimension to your look so that your face is not monotonous. You know, it actually has different dimensions, it has shades, the same way that light would hit your face and you'd see lightness in some areas and darkness in some other areas. So that's the illusion that these makeup actually gives as well. So you don't actually have to use the lighting and all of that for the trick. Makeup actually creates that for you, and that's the purpose for using concealers and contours and stuff like that. Well, basically concealer can be used to create your contours, but you know, to brighten and highlight and etc. Alright, so I use two sections on the sponge. So I use one side to apply the concealer and one side to apply the foundation. So one thing to note when you're using the concealer under the eye areas, if it's a bit brighter and you blend it out and it, you know, the transition doesn't look seamless, you can always go back in with the section that you use on the foundation to blend, and that will actually make it blend in really smooth, so you don't really see the lines of separation. And for the concealer that I use to contour, this is actually from Fit Me as well, and it's in the shade Dark Cocoa. So that's the one I use to contour my nose and jaw lines and also the upper cheekbones. And I just blend that out using the same sponge. By the way, this sponge is actually damp. By using a damp sponge, it actually blends seamless and it also absorbs less product, so you actually get more out of your product instead of the sponge absorbing everything. Now I'm setting underneath the eyes and also my forehead areas and all the, you know, the smaller areas at the corner of my nose and those areas, using the same loose powder from Maybelline New York. And I will be setting my face with the other powder from Loreal Paris. This was a compact powder, and it also has a matte finish. And for the rest of my face, I will be using a larger brush, and this is going to ensure that more areas are covered using a bigger brush versus a smaller brush. Now for my blush, I'm using this from Covergirl. This blush is from Covergirl. It has a bit of sheen in it, so it has a little shimmer in it, so you guys can definitely see the result right there. It is such a beautiful blush. It just makes the cheekbones pop, and it's not overpowering. You can just use a little bit and it just looks really pretty, and I just love everything about it. And I also like to dust a little bit onto my nose, my chin area and my forehead area. It just warms up the face and I think it looks really pretty. Now let's talk about this highlighter. It's from L'Oreal Paris, from the True Match Lumi line, and is shimmerista, and this one is in the shade Sunlight. Listen, I've used this so many times and I've talked about it so many times and I cannot stop talking about it. Did you see what I just did, guys? I showed you what was in the cover, right? That's just the residue from the cover, and that's all I've used so far. I'm going to show you the amount that I use again. And this is all I've been using. I just touch the brush in it like once, and I'm able to use that to cover like several sections. And I haven't even dipped into the powder itself, just the residue from the cover. This is how powerful this thing is. And I mean, if you're heavy-handed and you want to go all out and have your face like all glittery and shiny, you can still use what's in the cover and still have residue remaining. That's how much it is. Do you see that? Do you see the two little touches that I made from the cover? This is powerful stuff. This is going to last me like an entire lifetime. And look how pretty it is. Like, take a look at the brow bone. Look at the shimmer. This is so pretty. I'm just cleaning up my lips, and I'm going to be lining it with a normal black eyeliner pencil. This one is the same anchor pencil I use for my lids. And then I will be going in with this beautiful blue lipstick from Covergirl, and this is in the shade Peacock, and it is a beautiful blue lipstick. Now, one thing to note, this is for the bold, so if you're not bold enough to wear this color, it might not be for you. It is beautiful, but it can be a bit much depending on the occasion. I was actually feeling like, the second I put this onto my lips, I was feeling like 90s vibe, you know, that kind of vibe. I was feeling 90s vibe, the dark lips, you know, smoky eyes. I was definitely feeling 90s, and you guys can't tell me nothing. This was definitely 90s vibe. And to top this off, I just let the hair down, remain in a ponytail with the hair down like that. I mean, how 90s can that be, huh? Dark lips, the hair down like that, big hoop earrings. this look was definitely screaming 90s. Let me know what you guys think about this. Would you wear a blue lipstick? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also drop a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think about this makeup look. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and remember to check out my other video that I posted on the braids. Thanks again for watching, guys. Be safe, love every time. See you in the next video. Bye guys.